Hey everybody, it's your girl, PJamma, with PJamma Life. And today, it's your Waka Day! And we are here today to talk about some great shows, the Book of Boba Fett, Eternals, the new Marvel Disney, and the Peacemaker and Eagerly. So let us introduce our crew here, and we'll start off with the man who's the professor of all things Marvel. Pat, say hey to the people.
Hey to the people. Here we are. We're going to have some fun. Got some decent stuff to talk about. Left hand. Left. There you go. Left.
It is. Your other left.
Oh, no, don't tell her that. She's already confused. Stop it.
And our next super fan of all things Star Wars, David, say hey to the people.
Hello, everybody. Know this: danger lurks in the stars, and only Jason of Star Command can save you. Anybody
Well, that was a deep cut right there. It was a deep cut for us all. So,
it is.
So we have such a good batch, but we are going to start with the Chloe Zhao version of the new Marvel's The Eternals.
Are you a wizard?
What?
Yeah, like Doctor Strange.
No,
And I've noticed some unusual things happen when I'm around you. And Sprite says things. Like you and your ex-boyfriend broke up a century ago.
It's truly an honor to be in the presence of the great Eternals.
Okay. Well, why don't we start off with Patrick, because I'm sure you have drop some knowledge for us so we can understand the Eternals kind of lore.
Well, it does very different from it's quite different from the canonical 80s or late 70s, or when the Eternals first burst onto the scene, and the Stan Lee and the Steve Ditko fabulous drawings of the Eternals. I mean, it's really iconic comic book art, the way he drew Steve Ditko, who was like the main artist behind the Eternals. A little bit different. I mean, they've got some people that are different. I mean, Thanos was supposedly a deviant in some of the newer versions where they've tried to integrate some of this stuff. The movie itself, though, I wanted to love it. I did. I really went in there wanting to love it, even if it did have Angelina Jolie in it, who is, I believe, one of the top 5 overrated actresses in Hollywood right now.
Oh,
She might be in the top 3 overrated. Well, everybody thinks she's so great. She isn't anything great since Girl Interrupted. I mean, the other stuff's been pretty lame, and I would defy you to try to point something that was worth a crap since then.
Wanted.
I don't even remember that. It was so unforgettable. It was so forgettable.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was unforgettable. You're right.
So forgettable. I've forgotten it. I might have seen it, but I've already forgotten it.
Okay, let's get back to the Eternals.
Okay. But they had a great cast. There were people that really shone in it. If you stayed through the end credits, I'm just going to tell anybody who hasn't watched this, you should turn away, put your fingers in your ears, and go la 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 for a while. And here we go. And that was me dropping knowledge, I guess. just going to play along with that like we planned that? Yes. But I mean, there were some great spoilers at the end, or like not necessarily spoilers, but lead into things where you see Kit Harington as Dane Whitman, who is the Black Knight, and you see the cursed sword, the family heirloom at the end. And I was like, oh hell, that was the best part of the movie to me. I mean, really, I was just like, well, not the best part. The Kumail Nanjiani bits with the Indian Bollywood type of thing. And no, that was my great grandfather. That was my grandfather. That was my father. And this was me. It's like, you've been just keep doing these movies. And he's like, well, it's not me. It's my relatives. And he's like, oh yeah, it's totally me. But he was hilarious. I mean, there was some really delightful bits in it, but it just really, they were just trying to do too many things is what I felt like after watching it.
Yeah.
It was a whole new ensemble. You didn't have the build up like when they did the Avengers movie. You already had a Captain America movie. You had a Hulk movie. You've had a couple Iron Man movies by that point. I mean, you had all these things that were you had a backstory. You didn't have to spend time learning why these two broke up or these two got together or what their powers were. And I mean, it was just I think they bit off a bigger chunk than they could really chew, is what it felt like to me. Good movie. Enjoyed it. It was a good little intro. And like I said, some of the lead-ins to the next bits were really nice. So there we go. That's what I felt.
David, what'd you think?
Well, I found this kind of Game of Thrones reunion a little lacking in my mind. I love seeing Jon Snow in anything, but so that was a cool thing at the very end. Great cast, great ensemble, but Pat really hit it on the head. I think there was too much going on, and for me, it was I don't care. I don't care about them. I don't care about the deviants. I mean, one more big monster after another. I'm mesmerized, though, very honestly, how with all of the Marvel pieces they've got to kind of like reference everything with, the Avengers Endgame and Thanos. Because I guess if there was a rapture and then an unrapture of half the population of Earth, I mean, that would be like you go.
Called it rapture.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I mean,
Rapture. Oh Lord.
So something along those lines. So but a wonderful cast. I'm very impressed with the actors themselves. But the Bollywood stuff was the best. That was the greatest stuff.
Totally.
And man, that guy is ripped. I mean, I've seen him as a comedian.
Now that's the story of a big story. If you follow him, it's a tale.
It's like, dude,
Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah, and
he was the funniest. He was the best part of the flick. I mean,
he really was.
His oral was not touching anybody.
His character, though, did you like his character?
Yeah, I did.
Given what he did, you liked him still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I had a problem with his character.
I can tell by the way you're like, really?
I know.
I did like him.
Okay, so now the positives of it is beautifully shot. And Chloe Zhao, who did Nomadland, the scenes of them on the beach and the sunsets and them in different locations, really gorgeous. I mean, just very gorgeous, which you don't get from a lot of Marvel movies because it's so much green screen. You don't get to see them now on a lot of locations, but she did. So that was really good to see. And so it lent kind of a different feel to it. But it's too universe making, right? So, but I thought when I looked at it, I was a kid who was big into mythology as a kid. And so I thought it was a real cute play on each of the characters' names or each of the characters in Greek or Roman or some kind of mythology. Icarus and Athena and Festos. Was it Festos? Hephaestus, and
Gilgamesh.
so Gilgamesh and Makari, Mercury, and so I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought and then I guess they switched genders from the books to the movie of some of the characters, and I was like, oh, that was a guy. Like Ajax was a guy, and what Sprite was a guy, and
Sprite was at best Sprite would be more like gender neutral. They never really implied even. And Sprite was like a later character, not in the early
okay,
early stuff.
Okay,
that makes sense.
And I think wasn't Makari male?
I don't recall.
I think Makari was male. So some of it was some gender switching, and which I don't feel like really hurt the movie. No. There are other things that hurt the movie, which was once again, you guys know that too dang long. If she had trimmed it and tightened it up, or split it into two movies, and then just did everything she wanted to do amongst two movies, I think it would have made more sense. But to jam all this is the second longest Marvel movie out there.
Was it really? Okay.
2 hours and 37 minutes. It's a lot. Now, Dune was 2 hours and 35 minutes, but it felt like
I was just thinking that Dune is like one of those great examples of them doing two and making a good decision to say, yeah, this needs to be two movies, not one movie.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I'm like, oh, what does she do? But it kind of also gave me that feeling when Ang Lee did the Hulk. And, you get these auteurs who are great directors. There's no doubt of her talent.
But this is not their media.
This is not their medium. And so, stick with somebody who does. But I appreciate this is the most diverse cast of any Marvel movie. So I appreciate that. But I just think that who knows what the next one might look at. It's still making money. It's not making $1 billion like Spider-Man is. So it's in no way a failure. But it's just not a property yet that people really have gravitated towards. And who knows? It may, but right now it's a bit too much. It's too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with the Eternals. I think it was
too much of a thing. I don't know if it was a good thing.
It's too much. So editors, Kevin Feige, if you're listening, please tighten it up. Stop letting these people just run on with these movies. Tighten them up. 2 hours at most. So that's my thing. Okay, let's move on to our next big one, which is, let's see, what should we do? Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett. Let's take a sneak peek.
Here you see the businesses that were under the protection of the name that should not be spoken. Mos Espa was divided amongst 3 families. The Trandoshans took the city center, the Aquilish, the workers' district here, and the Clatoonians, the Starport and Upper Sprawl. Everyone is waiting to see what kind of leader you are.
Und Hakindo Payuya. Die Hagiti Kespo Andopa Le Syndicate.
Promised by who?
These are just a first wave. They're going to war.
Then we will be ready.
Ooh, great little cuts. And it's Chewbacca! Is that how you say his name? Kirstein, the Chewbacca. I mean the
Wookiee.
yeah, the Wookiee.
I think it's
Okay. Okay,
Grandstand.
before David starts, I just have to say, I don't want to see my Wookiees be evil. I don't like that. I like my Wookiees nice. So that's just one opinion I have on this one. David, take it away with your Star Wars Encyclopedia of Knowledge.
The Streets of Mos Espa was a nice or fun episode, but I think the weakest of the three. I was a little surprised by it in
Okay.
this. We had such a build up. We were introduced to the twins. We were introduced to the Wookiee from Dr. Afra, and he was awesome. If you've ever seen a Wookiee go crazy, Chewbacca's pretty mild. This guy, he doesn't take too many prisoners. So now can't speak for the security in Jabba's palace. Getting in is very
I got
good.
a theory.
Not
I got
very.
a theory.
But that was awesome. I guess for me, and it'll be interesting to see if we see them back. But we were introduced to these characters, and it was like, ooh, this is a big baddie, and what we're going to see. And they were kind of in, and seemingly with this episode, exit stage right so quickly. So it was a little disappointing to me in that regard. The other piece that stood out to me that was maybe a little disappointing was the fight scene or the chase scene near the end.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
Because I've seen chase scenes in Star Wars. I've seen chase scenes in different things. This was like the way the speeder bikes going up against the Major Domo speeder. It reminded me of like two angry people in the Walmart electric carts trying to grab the That's how slow it seemed. They were gunning for it. Just seemed a little slow. I understand the streets are crowded. That was a little. I thought it was tricky. I love the introduction of the kids. I thought we see again. We're introduced to a Boba Fett. We don't know this Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's got so much more honor and kind of kindness about him in ways that we wouldn't have ever seen or really thought of before. I like that. But the speeder bikes of the kids, they didn't work for me. They didn't look like Tatooine. It looked more like something you might have seen on Coruscant. The same with their droid bits, kind of their enhancements, their Borg-like aspects. So there was a few things with this that was a little disappointing. Did like seeing the Pikes. Sad to say goodbye to our Tuscans. Teardrop there for them. That was rough. But I thought it was but in comparison to the other episodes, I was a little disappointed with it from that aspect. I thought we had the big intro to the Hutts, and then they're kind of like leaving. So, or seemingly leaving. So it was a little weaker episode, I thought, in my mind. Still fun, still good. Didn't put me in my happy place quite like the first two episodes.
Wow. Okay, Pat, what'd you think?
I thought it was really good. I was happy to see them spend a little bit less time in flashbacks.
Yeah.
A lot more time in making the narrative go forward, because I mean, this is a limited series. At least this season of it's a limited series. We've only got 6 episodes. We're halfway through. So they need to really start moving the main narrative rather than the backstory going forward, so that we get some sort of narrative momentum going here. Because it's been kind of wishy-washy. We have Boba becoming Don Corleone, going around, I want them to respect me, I guess we will go to war. Just very, very Godfather vibes I was getting from him, trying to start his own crime syndicate, rather than this is the same guy, if you remember, on the bridge of a Star Destroyer, having to be told no disintegrations as you wish,
Right.
Because, well, apparently he's just killing people like nobody's business back then. And now he's like, I don't want to be kind of cool about this. I'm going to drop him down to an empty Rancor pit. All these sort of things just, I don't know if at the time with the Tuscans, there's still a sense of honor into him or whatever it was. But I wasn't. I mean, it was kind of weird, but overall the story was good. I enjoyed where they were going with it. The speeder bike chase was a little weird. Yes, I didn't know what to think about that. I guess I didn't even think about it being kind of slow, and I figured it was just because they're moving around inside of a city, have a lot of straight corners. They ain't got to, there's nothing on the ground, so it's all, I would suspect some sort of suspension that has to use jets and stuff to move it around. But anyway, I could kind of get why that might have been a little slower. I was a little surprised to see that these people he just bought off, the biker gang, was all of a sudden ready to just go toe to toe with a Wookiee, and going to straight up fight him. I was like, "Ooh, man, that's a big ask for someone you just hired a day before." I'm just saying.
And a legendary one like him too.
Well, you never work as hard as you do that first week, right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe you're really trying to get in good with the boss, but
you got to do well in their reach plans.
It was not the best episode, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, the narrative.
I like this one the most.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It had a Wookiee in it. Oh my god.
I didn't. Well, I didn't like.
Okay, that's what it was. Thank you.
I didn't like the Wookiee being bad, but we don't know that yet. We don't know what's going to happen. And
he's a good guy in the comics. I mean, he's for
that's
hire.
why I'm like, we just don't know yet how he's going to turn out. So maybe he'll flip the script and come back and help Boba Fett. But I think that I can't believe neither of you have brought up the amazing Danny Trejo.
Oh yeah.
Episode. Are you kidding me?
The new Rancor keeper.
And the Rancor, I was like, you guys, come on. And but this answered one of my questions from the beginning, which was, why doesn't somebody just try to kill him while he's in the tank? So I was like, come on, all you have to do is pull him out or poison the tank and he's gone. I mean, come on. So that was really like, finally somebody answered this. But I have a theory about it. I don't know if I should share it. Should I share
go ahead
it?
so we can make fun of you when you're wrong later. Come on.
Okay.
Share it now.
So I think that Fennec Shand is behind this. I think it's Fennec. So we will see coming up, because maybe she's making her
I've had that thought too, because she seems to be the one who's kind of more ruthless than him. And everybody's looking for a promotion, and if you're second to the top, there's only one place to go. So.
And how did he get into the palace? How did Kirsten get into the palace? I mean, get into his quarters. Come on now. She would be closer than that. So
bounty hunter's going to do bounty hunter stuff. That's all there is to say.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Hey, Pam, one thing I do want to say before we get too far, because we know how many important people across Hollywood are now paying attention to PJamma Life and our time together. So I want to say this right now to all the people at Disney. This is important. Disney, you've got to protect your big contractors and vendors. So if you're going to bring back the Rancor or a Rancor, you might want to tell Hasbro that when they do their big crowdsourcing, hey, buy our $300 Rancor, and it doesn't succeed. It's the first one of these Hasbro Pulse crowdsourcing toys that Hasbro's tried to get made. They made Jabba's sail barge. It sold out quickly. They made the Razor Crest. It sold out quickly. The Rancor for the Black Series, the 6-inch figures, did not succeed. I can't help but think if fans knew that there was a Rancor from, yes, of course, Return of the Jedi, but also one from the Book of Boba, maybe, just maybe, you would have sold enough units to have made that toy. Better communication with Hasbro. Or if Hasbro knew, they could have waited till February instead of December, when the Book of Boba would have been done, and people would have said, yeah, I want a new Rancor, because they're going to see, presumably, Boba riding a Rancor. People would pay for that. Better communication with your vendors so you can promote the property better. Just a little source, a little advice from someone who's literally inundated with Star Wars action figures.
Yeah, let's
everywhere
see.
he
What do
goes.
we got? Oh my gosh. Bring them out so we can see. I mean, the collection is
too many here, but we
you
got.
a whole 2 shows would have to be devoted.
I've
to
got
his
custom stuff all over the place here. Working on this guy.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, bits everywhere. A
Yeah.
few that the dog has chewed up, but that's another story.
So
Yeah.
definitely, I think I liked it because I think that the episode had the energy I was finally waiting for. And the introduction of the little kid gang was interesting, but there were some interesting political dynamics going on. Especially the Huts have turned out to be one of my favorites, where they're like, ugh, this is a crappy little rock. We're out of here, and you should get out of here too. So that's why I'm thinking something's up with this whole plan. So definitely check out the Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. Definitely. And we only got 3 more, maybe 3 or 4. Is this the 4th? I thought there were 7 episodes.
So 3 more.
I thought there were 7.
6.
Is it only 6? Okay. Well, we're halfway through. So definitely check it out. Let's go to our final pick, which is DC's sequel and follow-on from the Suicide Squad. Spin-off. That's it.
It's not a sequel.
Spin-off of the Suicide Squad in Peacemaker and Eagly.
Auto-tune robots dry up in the passes for music bullshit, right? No way. Choir boys? Went to see these guys when I was a kid. God, I'd go to all the shows when they came through Evergreen.
Oh, I used to really love Cinderella.
Yeah, Tom Kiefer and the boys are like the perfect mix of blues and metal.
Fuck yeah.
Put down my musical taste now? How fucking low are you?
Pumped up kicks, Evan? Do you know what that song is about?
I'm all for it. One thing I'm in favor of is 2 chicks going at it.
Having a lesbian haircut doesn't make you an ally.
Let's see my porn folder, 400 gigs of alliance. Okay, so we're gonna kill him because climate change is a hoax.
Why do all people that think pro wrestling is real think climate change is a hoax?
That thing better not shit back there.
You can't house train an eagle, dude. Not without stealing its soul. I don't think I can kill someone with something that doesn't have the double piece on it.
Eagly is the winner of the show. David, I know you were super having fun with it. What'd you think of Peacemaker?
I have finally found a DC property that surpasses Marvel in some kind of head-to-head competition. Peacemaker, shockingly, was amazing. I absolutely loved this show, and I can't believe it. I hated the movies. I hated Suicide Squad. You've got a hugging eagle. You've got great 80s music. The dance beginning. I mean, oh my goodness, that was, it's got that DC really dark violence and all, but it was funny. I can't believe I actually really enjoyed this. I thought I was in for weeks of something like Mortal Kombat, but no, I actually like John Cena. Other than some of his silly things that he said regarding, he apologized because he talked about referring to Taiwan as their own country. Other than that, in his own personal life, the show was really good. I had a blast with this.
But talk about Peacemaker.
I don't think that you like this as a DC movie. I think you liked that it was a James Gunn movie, is what it was.
Right.
Who was who brought the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you felt that similar. You felt a kind of a similar energy. The choices of music, having music be an integral part, which was very much the thing of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a good point.
I saw some parallels and John Cena is delightfully ignorant in this movie. And it's beautiful. I mean, and granted, he's just a big dumb jock, and I get that. He's not the dumb. I take that back. Guys making money hand over fist is smarter than me, but you know, cut, yes, very much so. I was like, damn, I wish I looked like that. I don't know how much money I pay for, but how much money is it going to take is what I want to know.
A lot.
I know.
I knew the scene we were going to see for the preview clip. I knew that scene ahead of time.
Oh, I knew it was.
What we were going to get.
Pam twisted the arm of her producer to put that in. No,
that one.
Slow it down just a little bit, you know, so not so much people notice it, but just a little bit slower. Yeah. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of character, you know, the actress that he was talking about. Just because you got a lesbian's haircut doesn't make you an ally. Tasty from Orange is the New Black, which was a delightful show, and to see her again was great.
Yeah.
God, there was a lot of fun
congratulations,
stuff.
she just got married last weekend. So congratulations.
I mean, it was delightful. I mean, it was good to see her back in and doing something that I dug. You know, felt very good for her. Overall, I'm totally unfamiliar with the source material. I know the little bit that I saw in Suicide Squad, the second one, not the first one, because we don't want to talk about the first one anymore. Just kind of like we don't talk about some of these movies they've redone, but really good. I thought it was fun. You know, there was nothing groundbreaking. I didn't like the music, and it had a very Guardians of the Galaxy feel. We're bringing together this weird offshoot character that nobody really knew that much about, unless you were like a hardcore DC comic book fan.
Yeah.
And even then, Peacemaker may not have been like a mainstay, like a Harley Quinn or whatever. You're bringing this kind of little bit unknown thing to it, and you made it fun, and it was delightfully ignorant. It was beautiful, and to see, you know, so many good little bits. Robert Patrick is the super racist father, you know, awesome stuff. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
So
I'll watch it again.
Yeah, and what we may do is watch it every couple of weeks and review it every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So this is to me every teenage boy's show. It's built for teenage boys, particularly maybe white teenage boys. Kind of show. And it's totally a bro show. And there's nothing wrong with things. I mean, you know, other shows are for other groups. So I did like it. I thought it had a lot of laughs. The only thing I'm kind of nervous about is the whole white supremacist part. Because that's nothing to fool around with. So I hope that's kind of, I don't know how they're going to go with that, but I don't want it to be some kind of like joke, because it's not a joke. But there's so many silly parts. Vigilante is just ridiculously silly, and the Eagly is my favorite sidekick so far.
Your spirit animal, perhaps.
Oh my gosh, Eagly. And him being such a goofball. But aren't they trying to like rehab his character and kind of like change the narrative from him being, you know, so over the top and like violent and deadly, and now he's a broken boy with a, you know, racist father who only wants to do good in the world, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, come on, let's not deconstruct everything. He is what he is. So, but I think that it'll be interesting. James Gunn wrote and directed each of the 3 first episodes. So, and he's actually doing, I think, 6 of them, but there'll be a couple of others doing the direction. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with this one. If he's now going to be in the DC universe since he got kind of kicked out of Marvel. And I kind of was like, when he had that little spat about Louis C.K. in there, and I was kind of like, why are we talking about Louis C.K. so much? I don't want to hear anything about him. But it was the characters are really interesting. And I'm going to be interested to see what they reveal about the Butterfly Project and where that's going to go. I thought that was a really good cliffhanger in the last episode. So I'm interested to see, and I hope we see more of Amanda Waller, because I love me some Viola Davis. So anytime she's on the screen, it's like, mwah. It elevates all of it. So we'll see what happens, but it's a funny show. I don't think it's for kids. So parents out there.
Well, him and the girl butterfly, yeah, that might have been your first clue, maybe.
Don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah.
But teenagers up, they watch all this stuff all the time anyway in their video games. So but there are some mature themes that that's why I say don't let the kids watch. But otherwise, it's funny. You'll have a good time, but it is very teenage boy centric. So you like that kind of humor and stuff, this is gonna be for you. Yeah, these two are like, yeah.
Every man is a teenage boy. Okay, in case you didn't know.
Okay, so definitely, ladies out there, fangirls, you might like it. Got some good eye candy. Boy, do you get some good eye candy. So check out, I think we're all in agreement, check out Peacemaker. So we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about the next set of episodes. Okay, so that is it for us today. And looking forward to seeing, let's see, do we have any commenters, people commenting? Oh, looks like we had some comments. So let's say, hey to Electric Melanin. Hi, Electric Melanin. And Dwayne DeMarcos. Hey, Dwayne DeMarcos. And definitely this week, next week, we have some interesting picks. We have, of course, the Book of Boba Fett. We have the new series, American Auto, on NBC. And we have the documentary, I believe it's on Hulu, Farmer Bro. About, what's his name? Martin Shkreli. And the downfall of Pharma Bro. So, and it's produced by Blumhouse. So, who did the great Fantasy Island for you, Pat? Get Out. And Blackest Night, a variety of great movies, but now they have their documentary, Farmer Bro. So I've seen it. I think it's really interesting. So definitely we're going to check that out next week. Guys, you got any final thoughts for the people? Patrick?
I don't have any thoughts. I'm just
okay. Say goodbye to the people.
I'm very zen right now. I'm just kind of living in the moment. So you guys, everybody, just be safe and be nice. There you go.
There you go. I like that. David, how about you?
Just want to say, again, to be safe. Obviously, Omicron is moving up, so all those issues with COVID. Special holiday on Monday. If you're a federal employee, you know this. In honor of Dr. King, it is a day. While you think about federal service, it's a holiday. You don't have to be at work, but it is a day that really can best be commemorated by service in whatever ways. So think about that. Give to your community and just be and be of of a positive mind to be supportive of others out there. So, but enjoy the holiday weekend.
And use the time to just be kind to your fellow human being, no matter what nationality, creed, sexual orientation, class status. Just be kind, and you will be living the dream if you do that. So definitely still make sure you are social distancing, wearing your mask, getting your vaccine, and being careful around people. So do that and we'll all get out of this together. So definitely have a good time and be zen, as Pat said. And we'll see you next time on PJamma Life. Take care.
So long, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.